Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Lady's Garden. Come along with me today as I clean up this area. So this is my side garden on the opposite side of my home, clearly, because the other side's undeveloped. So there's the arbor. There are the very large, it's a false thread cypress. They got so big. I remember planting these guys when they were itty bitty. I did not think they would get so big. It clearly likes its spot, but I think they need to be sized down a little bit for just a little bit. But it does give you a really nice, or at least it gives me rather, a really nice block from the street view, anyone looking into my garden. So there's no fence here. It's just the evergreens, which is what originally I wanted. The green holly, Chesapeake holly. Chesapeake holly is nice. It's a nice evergreen structure. However, it is kind of wild. It doesn't have a particular shape in my experience. It just kind of grows, and it's a lot of suckering there. But I still like it. I am going to be, I'm going to try to neaten it up today. And then over here, this is just, everything got really big. My hope eventually for this area is to expand this bed and bring it out a little deeper and then connect it to kind of where the shadow of the house. You see the shadow or where the mulch is? I'm going to bring out the bed that much. This was probably one of the first beds I put in. Sky pencil, you got the boxwood in the corner, the other two cypress, false thread leaf cypresses, and then a hanoki, hope I'm saying that correctly, cypress. And it's funny because the hanoki cypress was so small, it's a slow grower, and I had removed initially the first set of cypresses I had, and then the hanoki just exploded with growth. But I missed having that lime green color, so I put them back. They never quite caught back up to where they were originally. This is the second set of plants I have here, but it's okay. So it's a beautiful tree. And then down here, another boxwood. These boxwoods, so there's one in this corner, and then there's one a little further down. This actually was a boxwood that I had in a pot on my porch. And then eventually I popped them out, and I just put them here, and yeah, they've been great ever since, and I really, really like them. But it needs a little love, and here's one of my garden angels. I call her Flora, and she has a rose next to her that was actually a rose I got from my local grocery store, and I popped it there, and it kind of pitter-pattered out, and I pulled it out, at least I thought I did, and then it grew back again. So it's right at the base of her feet, which I think looks pretty. So we're going to be working here, kind of cleaning up if I get closer. So yeah, maybe trying to clean up a little bit of the inside of the cypress. I know there's some kind of, some dead in there, so I'm going to clean that up. I'm not going to extend that garden or this garden this year because I have so many other projects I opened up. This is kind of going to be most likely a very last project that I take on. I kind of like to pace myself because gardening is an expensive hobby. And yeah, so anyway, we're going to do that today, and then after I'll show you guys after it's all cleaned up. Okay, so I started to pull out just, dead needles and sticks and leaves, and then I really started to get at it. Started to work myself up, and I spotted something, and I said, oh my goodness, thank the Lord I did not get too carried away. So check this out. It is a bird's nest. I'll stop working around this tree, and I'll just kind of clean up a little bit of the area like I got here. Just weed, and then I'll just wrap my time up here so I won't disturb that nest. But then we have a little bit more to do over here with these two. And just so you know, just a fun fact about myself, I used to watch a show called Fraggle Rock when I was a kid, and if you Google that show, you'll see the little, I guess, creatures, or they lived underground, and their hair looked just like this. So when I first started to plant these, I remember telling my husband, yeah, I got some Fraggle Rocks. And he said, what are you talking about? And then I showed him, and then after he goes, oh yeah, they do look like the Fraggle Rock people hair. Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm all done and mulched up. This is what I did. I have to get an extension for the downspout. I didn't like that other hose. It just didn't look very refined. So I took out some of the bricks here and I opened the garden up to the side length of the house garden. That's pretty much it. I mean, I cleaned out the weeds and whatnot, tried to pull the suckers out, left the bird's nest alone. Nothing's in there actually, but I left the bird's nest alone. I don't know if they will reuse it, but whatnot. Up here, I did trim a little bit off of the bottom, and now you can see how the grass isn't growing under there, but that's okay. I don't really have a problem with that. This one I did not touch. I didn't touch, and I did not touch the Chesapeake Holly either. But this one I did because I feel like when you walk into the garden, you it's encroaching on your walking in space. So that's about it for now. I definitely, like I said before, will eventually bump out this entire side garden, a little bit more so I can have some plants or something in the front where you see a lot of concrete. But that's for another season. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy gardening, fellow gardeners. Bye.